Stop reacting to each Google update and instead pay attention to local audiences with Motoko Hunt from AJPR. Brought to you by Majestic, I'm David Bain and this is SEO in 2022. Motoko, what is your number one SEO tip for 2022?
Yes, so my advice is to stop reacting to every single Google updates. It is very important to monitor the updates and how that might impact your, the website performance or, the traffic, organic traffic and things like that. But kind of, focusing too much on what Google says or what Google did, I think it's important to step back and think about, are we focusing way too much on Google and ignoring, kind of overlooking how your customer base is responding to the changes you made to your websites, or, whatever the changes you made actually helping to grow the business. At the end of the day, we are doing the SEO for the websites to grow the business for the company. Either, you have your clients, or you are the in-house SEO team. Either way, the ultimate goal, why you have the job is to help grow the business for the company. So I think we really need to rethink our, what we are doing as a priority SEO items and then make sure that it's converting, it's, translating into the business growth.
Understood. Okay. So are you saying that because the key thing that is important is how users interact with your websites and the signals that get back to Google as a result of that?
That too, but even if it's not directly impacting the SEO, the ranking of the keywords or anything like that. For example, I think it's really important to understand whatever you made the changes is not to rank number one in the search results, but it's actually, ranking number one in the search results, for example, it's the process to grow the business, right? So you need to really make sure that it's translating into the sales or conversion or any kind of the measurements that important to your, KPIs that important to your business. For example, many people's been focusing on content, adding more content to the websites and content optimization, which is a really good thing. But oftentimes I see that the companies are focusing on some of the keywords that slightly or remotely, related to your business, but high search volume and it jump on that and then creating the content and then, just pumping out all those new contents on the sites. And it's great. You might even rank number one for those, high search volume keywords. But if it's not something that your audience is interested in, it's not something that closely related to your business, it's probably not going to translate into the business growth. At least, not immediately. When you start doing that, but content creation, requires a lot of resources, manpower, or at least that money, to create the content. And then, for a while, you might be able to have your client or your, the boss, in-house, boss to go with that. But after a while, company will think that, hey, we spending on all this money, but how much of that is actually, translating into the business? And it's just not sustainable. So what we've been doing is to when we do the keyword or topic research, we kind of prioritize all those research items, the topics, content topics or keywords or whatever you want to call, into the different groups and then put the priority or put the numbers closer to that conversion. And we might see that really high search volume broad term. But if we think that it's not going to convert, we're going to put them in a low priority group. And focusing on the high priority keywords that by adding those contents, it will definitely help grow the business. And then we start seeing the really good conversion out of those, articles. That are, maybe not the article topic might not be, product information or the service information directly because they already have those pages on the client's websites. By adding those supportive content around the service or related to the products, people interested in your products might be interested in solving this kind of, problem. Or interesting additional new information related to the products, providing those additional information on the sites really helps that potential customer to actually become the customer.
So you said that you decide not to focus on certain keyword phrases if you think that they're unlikely to convert. Mm-hmm. How do you decide if a keyword phrase is unlikely to convert?
So we will do the extensive research on a content topic. We look at, of course, the search volume is one thing, and then keyword tools and then things like that. But we listen to or we advise that customers to pay attention to their customer feedback. What kind of, and then when they go to the events, they have the events for their customer base. What kind of feedback they get at the events, conferences, and things like that. And kind of gather all those information. What customers, the potential customer even wants to know, what kind of information they want to know, what kind of concerns they have, what kind of additional or new products they are interested in, things like that. And then, customer support, feedbacks, those databases will be helpful too. We also kind of whenever we have the new clients, and we have many B2B clients, we sign up for industry newsletter in a specific industry, customer's industry, and then start reading some of the articles and then say what kind of information their engineers are interested in, or their manufacturer owners are interested in, type of stuff. And then kind of step ahead and then look ahead and then, provide those new content that we kind of see that trend. These are the, next information they are looking for, and then put that on the websites before their competitors do. While competitors are still chasing high search volume keywords topic. And then, we make sure that we don't just slap one information on the websites, but kind of create additional supportive information articles so that we can kind of create that, little content area or the several pages of several articles around the topic, each, supporting each other's. And then that will help, sell the products or services, because that's what your potential customers are interested in to understand or learn about that, something related to your company business.
I love that answer, because what you described there was recommending high-level conventional business market research as opposed to just relying on keyword information out of a tool, actually looking into a market and doing some incredible high-quality professional research before making a decision as to what keyword phrases you're going to target and what content you're going to write. So absolutely brilliant stuff. We said at the beginning that your recommendation was to pay attention to local audiences. So what's your definition of local audiences here? Is this for local businesses, or is this simply the target market that is local, that is relevant for your business?
Yeah, I meant that target market that's local. So many clients we did, work with, they are global business, global websites. So that in terms of local doesn't mean the local search itself, but the international, global businesses targeting multiple countries or multiple markets. And then the reason I mentioned
hyper-relevant niche audience.
Yeah. And then the reason I mentioned that is because, a lot of the companies, they do extensive research, even just the keywords research. They do really well on their main market or the markets that they already really, know and then doing well. But then especially when the Western business is trying to tap into the Asian market, because of there is a language barrier, they do translate that content, but they don't do any of those additional research. They don't, really even understand or recognize or notice that how audience in Korea or China or Japan might be different from your audience in France or Germany, and then Americans. Let's say that you are the American business, and then you do kind of okay or well in Europe. But fail miserably when they try to do just copy and paste version of the Asian websites and then use that to tap into Asian market. Because we mainly work with foreign companies trying to tap into Japan market through the websites. That will be the first thing that we usually discuss with our clients is that we really cannot just translate and optimize the content for the keywords you like to rank for, because that might not be the keyword people are interested in Japan or not just a keyword, but topic or information people are interested in Japan. And then especially for the B2B, some of the industry regulation might be different, or the even the law might be different. So when the law is different, people are have to go to the different resources. So because that's another reason why a lot of time copy and paste version of the website doesn't do well in certain market or certain countries, even though it might be really doing well in other countries.
You obviously recommend targeting keyword phrases that are likely to convert well, that are likely to resonate with the local marketplace as well. Would you say that until you do that as an SEO, as a business, that you start to rank for those sorts of keyword phrases, that it's a mistake to spend any time whatsoever trying to bring in traffic for shorter tail keyword phrases with higher search volume?
I think that, you already have the content and then you translate. That will be the first step to, reaching out the new country or new market. So you already have that. So while you're optimizing those existing contents, which you should do, and then when you are, you have the next step will be when you have the time to order resources to add that content, thinking about additional articles for the local market. That's when really I think that it would be good if you can do the local keyword researches. And then even that, localization process, if you have so much content on your website and then you really don't want to or cannot translate 100% of the content, for example, from English to Japanese at once, I think those little bit of, even a small amount of the local interest research will help you prioritize which content you should be localizing first. Of course, your product pages and service pages, those typical, important pages will be localized first, but then any of the supporting contents you need to translate or you need to prioritize, then those additional market research will be helpful. So that you will be, translating or localizing the contents that are likely to have more impact for your business than some of the other contents.
Okay, great. So a lot of good thoughts there. If an SEO is really hearing what you're saying and recognizing actually my site's quite broad, I'm missing out on many niche keyword opportunities, I haven't done some high-level quality research into who my target market is and what keyword phrases are likely to resonate with them, what's something that they can stop doing now because it's probably not a good use of their time in order to spend more time focusing in on what you suggest?
Yeah, so that one thing you can do is to, if you are planning to create content strategies, I think instead of just find the new keywords with high search volume and then just create the contents based on that, sit back and then create the content creation plan that's based on not just the search volumes or popular keywords, but like I mentioned earlier, I think it will be good to prioritize the topic based on likelihood of converting or help or support customers to convert. But I think that if you reallocate the resource and budget to do that before you add spend the money or spend resource to adding the next set of the new contents just because that will be, I think, really helpful. And then that's how you can, I think, spend your resource and then budget, much more effectively.
Wonderful thoughts. Well, you can find Motoko Hunt over at ajpr.com. Motoko, thanks so much for being part of SEO in 2022.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. Bye.
Check out the rest of the content from SEO in 2022 over at seoin2022.com.